look, and I cannot find the product. So it's really annoyed me. I'm just going to grab my cup of tea. I know that there was a couple of you waiting. So I wanted to do a purple Huda look with one of my liquid shadows, because I've noticed something recently, as well as the fact that I love purple. I'm just going to grab my tea. Hopefully I don't fall over holding my camera and the tea and walking at the same time, because it's not easy for me at the moment. But one of the things that I noticed is there's an awful lot of lilac-y makeup looks at the moment. And I was going to use my double metal, it's like molten metal Huda pen, and I cannot find the one that I want. I found two of them. They're normally all together, so I thought I knew exactly where it was, and I haven't got that one. So I've abandoned that idea. Excuse me, shuffling away here. My balance is not great. Right, so instead I'm going to do an old favourite. I do have some new stuff, but I'm going to show you. Hello, Nina. I'm going to show you my new stuff, but I'm not doing the new stuff today because I like doing my new stuff on a non-live video. And I was telling Nina yesterday, it motivates me to get filming a video when I've got new stuff. So I don't want to do it on the live because then I've already done it, but I will give you a sneak preview of what's coming up. Okay, so I've purchased a couple of things, a few things recently, but some are on their way. Some have arrived. Now, one of the things my sister got me onto this, and I'm really looking forward to trying it, is by Hindash. So I'll give you a sneaky peek. So this one I'll probably do tomorrow. This is the Hindash palette. Okay, and I got it reduced on Cult Beauty, so I had to try that. And I mean, just a little sneak preview to say that that is a kind of ombre effect. And what's great about this is that these, as you know, pigment is pigment, so you don't have to use them on your eyes. You can use these as contours, face powder, a blush, eyeshadow, whatever, and you can just choose the strength of the colour. So I'm really looking forward to trying that. Yep, so that's going to be one video coming up. As I say, I'm going to do the new stuff on a separate non-live video. And I've got another palette as well that I got. So there was a 25% off on certain things on Cult Beauty. Hold on a minute, I'm just putting this away. And so I bought a couple of new palettes because I'm a bit short of eyeshadow. I'm not short of anything really. Right, let me just show you. For this one, I like the look of this. Oh, sticky packaging that gets in the way. Now let's see if I can get this open. So this is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is the Nouveau palette. And I like this because it had a lovely shade of lilac in it, which is what I thought I was going to put on my eyes today if I could have found the actual pen, but never mind. So this is the Nouveau palette. As you see, it's pristine, not been used yet, because I'm going to do a video on it. So, and I like the fact that it's got that cool lilac, but it's got some warm shades. So I'm really looking forward to trying that. So I'm just teasing you because I'm not using those today. Has anyone got either of those palettes? And then I got a freebie because I bought one of these as well, a dip brow gel from Anastasia, which I will put on today. I got a free lip gloss. It's just clear, but it's very good. Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, what I'm going to use today, what I picked up to use, because I couldn't find my Huda pen, boo-hoo, is I thought I would use my Huda Desert Dusk palette. Because it's quite exciting. Let's do that one. Right. Do you remember I bought a dupe? It's lovely palette. It's lovely. And I bought a dupe of this for something like £5 from Amazon. And no one could tell the difference. And I gave it to my sister. Because my sister had been after the Desert Dusk. And everyone, in fact, not only could they not tell the difference, they preferred the Amazon one. And I almost didn't want to give it up. Right, I'm going to put on this pen, which you know that I reviewed the other day. Because I'm going to see my dad after this. And again, I had a sleepless night. Completely sleepless night. Do you know what's really weird? Genetics, right? I know that we end up taking after our parents in a lot of things. There's certain things that are so closely related to things that my mum started experiencing around the same age. My mum had this open pore on her head, and it was just the one, you know, like you get on your nose. It was just what people fondly call blackheads. It was just the one, and it was so open that, you know, I used to help my mum with skincare. She loved having her facials done by me, and I used to deal with it. And I have just developed one in exactly the same place as my mum, at the same age. How weird is that? But at least I know how to deal with it, because I dealt with my mum's. So bizarre. I'm just putting tons of magic cream on, because my skin drinks it up when I haven't been sleeping. Right, let's put this foundation on. I'm also going to do a video. It'll be a shorter one. I made a bit of an assumption, I think, when I did my foundation video the other day. And the assumption was that everybody knows their MAC foundation shade. But I've had a few comments back with people that say they don't know their MAC foundation shade. And I think it's worth doing a video on your MAC foundation shade, because it's a little bit of a different kettle of fish shopping for MAC foundation. So I'm going to do that. Now, what have I done with that brush? Here we go again, losing things. Oh no, there it is. Right. I wanted my flat brush to put this on. You love that foundation on me. Just a warning, it is quite matte. And it does look better after an hour for that reason. But that's what makes it last long. This thing, by the way, it twists very easily, so you do have to be a little bit careful. Right, I'm going to squeeze some onto the back of my hand. Why is this not coming out now? Come on. Update. It doesn't work anymore. Ah, you obviously have to have it turned upside down for it to work. That's interesting. Right. I'll put a bit on the back of my hand. Now let's go in. Start from the middle of my face. I'll work my way out. So how is everyone today? Now, I want to give a bit of a shout out to Stacey. Stacey, I started doing some reviews on her channel. I think you're still Stacey Frost, aren't you, Stacey? She's done a review of the Charlotte Tilbury brushes. Do pop on over to her channel and subscribe. Let's give her a bunk up on the YouTube platform. And you know Stacey's got an impressive Charlotte Tilbury collection. Yeah, she's still called Stacey Frost. We're still working on her channel name. Your day is just about over. It's 11:30 p.m. here. Where are you calling from, Robin? Where are you calling from? Where are you joining from? Right, I'm now putting a little half pump for my concealer. That was one pump. You see, with the Australia. Ah, down under. I thought it must be somewhere like that. And yours just started. It's 9 a.m. in the States. Isn't the internet great? To think that we're all like, we're at other sides of the world and we're just talking to one another. Who'd have thought when we were kids that we'd be on a video screen talking to one another, opposite sides of the world, and not having to spend about 20 quid on a phone call? It's amazing, isn't it? You've already popped over and subscribed to Stacey's. Well done. Love the brush video. There you go, Stacey. You love waking up and watching these with everyone. I love hearing about what you're all doing when you're watching it. I love imagining you all tuned in. And I've had a couple of videos in the past. Someone sent me a video once of her watching me. And I just loved it. Really loved it. Now, I'm just putting a bit more under my eyes. Because, as I say, didn't sleep again last night. I have these pain patches, and the day I have to change them every 3 days. And the day that I change them, the following night is normally a completely sleepless night. It's really weird. They don't make me drowsy at all. I watched a video this morning. I was telling Rebecca about this earlier on. I was looking at some of my analytics, as you do. So you can analyse like what people are searching for and how they came to find you, kind of thing, on YouTube. And I always find it amusing because they have suggested videos. And these are the videos that when people watch them, they suggest coming over to you. And that sometimes they're the most bizarre videos. But like, for example, because I watch true crime, there's a lot of crime videos suggesting coming to watch me. Can you imagine you're watching about a murder and then you're watching me putting on my concealer? I'm just getting rid of that last little bit by just going over with this. And I was watching this lady on YouTube, young lady, beautiful skin, flawless skin. And she spent, it was so intriguing. I'm not being nasty because I thought, why is she doing that? It was one of those moments of, what? Why are you doing that? I'm intrigued. Why did you do that? So she spent ages doing her concealer and brightening under her eyes and around the nasolabial folds that she didn't have, by the way, because she was about 20. And then she drew in little shadows under here. I kid you not. And I was like, what? What are you doing? She didn't have any shadows and she drew them in. I don't get it. So I thought maybe I should do a tutorial drawing in some shadows and then saying, you see, I don't really have them. I've just been drawing them in all the time. Now, when I put the powder on, hello, true Baronese or Baroness. I've got watching this week, and it's due to my son who doesn't actually, he's not interested anymore. I have to tell you, because he's upstairs, by the way, listening, because the schools are on strike here in the UK. So he's off school. The teachers are on strike. But a few years ago, he was really into the rapper XXX Tentacion. And I don't know if you heard about it, but he was this famous rapper, sort of self-made millionaire, from basically came from nothing and uploaded stuff on social media, and really talented chap, and did really well and became sort of the #1 rapper. And then he was basically robbed and shot in a car park and murdered. And the trial is on this week, and I've been joining that. And I think I need to log out of my YouTube channel before I watch these things, because I think it's making true crimers. It's making true crime videos suggest coming to watch me. And of course, if you're watching true crime, you wouldn't necessarily want to come and watch a makeup video. But there are a few people that would, I know, that follow me. But there you go. So I've been watching the verdict isn't in today. They've been out deliberating all week. So we're waiting on the verdict for that. Right, now. I have got a molting hair from one of Charlotte's old brushes are great, by the way, but they molt. And I'm sure that Stacey's not finding that problem with her new ones, because she swapped over to synthetic now. But that is the foundation. Now, as you can see, it's now looking a little bit flat and matte on me. But if you do this, if you want to speed it up, just put a bit of setting spray and it will all mulch together and it will look fine. If you've got dry skin and, am I saying this right? Yeah, if you've got dry skin but you want a foundation to last, then the thing about matte foundations is they will last longer because they've got less oil in them. So it's all about trying to get the best of both worlds. So you can use a matte foundation, but as I said in my video, put some magic cream underneath to give you the moisture before you apply it. And then use your powder and whatever, and then use your setting spray and let it all, and just be prepared for the fact that it's going to look better in about half an hour once everything's mingled together. But it's just that, you know, you cannot get a really long-lasting foundation that is glowy, because the glowiness is to do with the oil. It's just sort of normal physics. Physics, is that the right word? But anyway, you know what I mean. If something's glowy, it's oily. If it's oily, it's more likely to come off. Use the e.l.f. Halo Glow underneath as well. It's a game changer. Yes, well, I could use it. I could use it over the top. I haven't done that video yet either. And do you know what? I thought it was here. And it's not. But I've got the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless filter. So I'll put a little bit of that over the top. You can put it over the top. Do you remember that saying from Charlotte Tilbury? And I always forget the fourth one. Beneath it, blend it something. Bling it beneath it. Beneath it, blend it. Beneath it, blend it. Something, bling it. What was the third one? Fourth one. We can't get it here yet. You can't get the e.l.f. one. By the way, can you guys in the States get Charlotte's SPF primer yet? See, that will give you a glow. You can put it on top. But yes, Nina, great. You can put it underneath, beneath it, or you can bling it. And you can do that with the e.l.f. one too. Right, I'm now going to put... Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. A little bit of... No, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the 17. I'm going to use the 17 eye primer because it's quite good. The foundation brush is from Charlotte Tilbury, yes. It's the flat foundation brush. I'm intrigued to try the MAC one. I'm very tempted, but I've already spent quite a bit this month, so I might get that next month. There's one that they recommended with the foundation, and I haven't ever had a MAC foundation brush. I'm just going to apply this with my fingers. So this is number 17, or 17 as it's now called. 17 eye primer. And it's very good. And it costs about £3. In fact, I think it's exactly £3. So, I'm going to put this on first. I do miss the days when Jack used to be in on my videos and he was my assistant because he'd pass me things. Do you remember? He's listening, by the way.
I can hear you.
I know. I said you're listening. I'd said that quite deliberately. You used to say, yeah, I'll get it, Mum. What do you need? And you used to hand me stuff while I was doing my video. Whereas now he's a teenager, doesn't want to be seen on my channel. Right, Huda Beauty. Now, what I love about this palette is it's got quite a few warm transition shades and then the kind of cooler purples. And I'm definitely in a purple mood today. So I'm going to go in with something like this to start off with. And I'm going to do, yeah, Eden. And I'm going to, let me just check, because some of them come out darker than I want them to. No, that'll do. And I'm going to just put this in my socket as a transition shade. Because when you start using purples, it's great, but you really need that transition shade to kind of make it not look too stark a difference, to sort of blend in at the top. I might even, I'm feeling a bit adventurous today. I might even do a cut crease, which is not really for, you know, it's for the young 20-year-olds probably, people will say, but I might have a go at doing it. You know, I like showing you things are for every age. I shouldn't say it's not for people like me. Any makeup is for anybody. So I'm just building up that colour a little bit. And then I'm just going to go to the next one, which is blazing. I saw a tutorial this morning, an Indian woman doing a tutorial, and it's inspired me to do something similar. I'm going to go in with this blazing, and I'm going to just build that up and go underneath with blazing. It's kind of a terracotta colour. I'm just going to go a little bit further down. I'm building up the warmth so then I can add the cool purples. You tried it, but there isn't much of an effect on your hooded lids. Did you do the bit where you blink with the concealer? Pixie Woo makes me laugh. When she was on with her daughter. Sam was on with her daughter, and her daughter was showing her the Instagram cut crease, and she said, so you've just spent half an hour blending everything to perfection and then you cover it with concealer. And it's true, it was making me laugh because it's what I've always thought. But it's a method. It's just not what makeup artists would ever be trained to do. Now, can you see, even where I didn't put, that Flawless filter, it's starting to look a bit shinier, but it's going to stay. That's the difference. And then I'm going to take a smaller smudge brush, and I'm going to go in with saffron. Am I? Or amethyst? No, I'm going to go in with saffron. This one. But I'm going to place that a little bit more intensely into my socket. So I'm putting it on with a smudge brush. It's this tutorial I was watching this morning. My sister, if she joins me, is going to laugh because we were watching it together on FaceTime. So I'm just placing that in a bit more of an intense way. And then up and out, just to give my eyes a bit of a lift. I'm going to blend that in a minute, but I'm just making it look even, both sides. But also what this does is it gives you an effect, Terry, of, can you see that my hooded lid, my mobile lid is actually not, you can't see much of it. But what this does is it makes your mobile lid look bigger. It makes it start from the socket instead of where it really starts from. Or it gives that impression. Ooh. Yeah, I've had my brushes for ages, but as I said, I bought my brush set from Charlotte Tilbury before she changed them over to synthetic. So mine are the real hair ones, but they molt. And a lot of people complained about it. But then when she switched over to synthetic, people complained about that as well. You're kind of either a synthetic girl or a real hair person. I frankly don't care, to be honest. I know I should do, but I think people get overly obsessed. I'm the Charlotte Tilbury point of view. Charlotte Tilbury, if you notice, she doesn't actually bring out 16 different eye brushes, which she could do and she'd make a fortune, but she always says you don't need that many eye brushes, and she sort of concentrates more on the technique of application rather than what you're applying it with, and also the quality of the makeup that you're putting on, obviously. So can you see how I've just sort of built that up? Now, if you do your kind of cut crease, Terry, did you do it like this? This is definitely an Instagram trick. So you put a little blob on your mobile lid and then you look up. And you see where it transfers to. And then that's where you start your, that's where you kind of, this is not the right thing to paint it on. And that's where you take your mobile lid up to. That's your guide. So it's going to make you look like you've got a huge mobile lid, even though you haven't. My sister is going to laugh if she comes on here, because this is exactly what we were looking at this morning. Oh, is she there? Lucy, remember that thing that we were... I'm using the Huda Beauty Desert Dust Palette. I was telling everyone we were watching a tutorial this morning by an Indian woman, and I'm having a go at it. So again, just showing you that tip. So you put a little bit of concealer on the middle of your mobile lid and then you look up. And you see where it goes to. And that's where that's a guide to where your mobile lid, where you're going to paint your mobile lid into. And then you do yourself. Dad's going to wonder what I've got such glammed up makeup on for, isn't he? Mind you, he was used to it. So now you can see I look like I've got a huge mobile lid. Now, of course, if you've got 20-year-old lids like this lady that had it this morning, then it's going to be a lot cleaner than that. But it doesn't matter too much, because now I'm going to go in with my shimmer. Now, this is where I probably could do with my other brushes that are not just Charlotte Tilbury, but I've got flat brushes and this brushes and that brushes. But I'm going to go in with this one called Twilight. And this one here, right on the edge, I'm going to go in with Amber and then Twilight, and then I'm going to put a gold or something in the corner. So first of all, this is a kind of flat brush. It's actually a brow brush, but I just want that sort of to be able to dab it on. So it's quite sticky. But I'm dabbing it over the top. And then what she did in this, I mean, I've done this look before, but she did this sort of gradient going across. I think this palette is sort of past its best age-wise. It's not as pigmented as it was. It's dried out a bit, which is a shame. So I'm just having to go back in a bit to just make sure it looks even. Let's try this with my fingers. That's a bit better. It's a bit dried out, that one. Right, and then I'm going to go in with this Twilight, which is this beautiful shade. And I'm going to put that, in fact, I'm going to do that with my fingers. It's just going to apply better. Hello, Kim. Do you know what? I'm getting so wrapped up in doing this eyeshadow look that I haven't said hello to everyone. Hello, Nina. Hello, Terry. Hello, Stacey. Hello, True Baronese. Hello, Robin. Hello, anybody else I've missed? You're going to do a part 2 of your brush video. Oh, there we go. There's Rebecca. So I ended up doing a little bit of a lilac-y purple look in the end anyway, but it wasn't what I'd planned to do. But I'm going to do a bit of gold in the corner. I'm going to do a bit of Nefertiti. So then Nefertiti, which is this, is going to go right in the corner. And the good thing about doing it with your fingers, apart from the fact it always applies better when you're doing your kind of shimmer shades, but is you can get to blend in between the transitions. Now, this is still a work in progress. What I don't like so far is it goes from dark to quite light too quickly. So that's fine. That's when I start filling things in. I'm going to go in with Royal. That'll do nicely with a brush. And I'm going to take that in between these two shades. This palette is not lasted well. It's dried out. It's definitely not applying as well as it once did. That's why I'm picking up a lot of it with my fingers. And I don't like the gold in the corner, so I'm just going to cover that with the Twilight. and then make it a bit more graduated going along. So I'm going to take the royal a bit further along. Adjust as you go. That's it. Then I want it a little bit darker in the corner. So I'm going to take Oud, which is a dark brown. That seems to be quite pigmented. Can you see there's a little bit that's gone over the line there? Even though I did it with that technique, a little bit that's gone over where, but I can go in and correct that. It's not a problem. So what I do is I'll get my thin brush and I'll go back in with my saffron, which is what I used there, and I just do this. Because you really want to give the impression that my mobile lid starts up there, not down here, up there. Even though it doesn't. Right, now I'll go back in with my blending brush and blend that out. There we go. Better. This isn't the sort of look, you know, when you're going out to work, but it's just if you want to have a play with makeup, you know, and you're in that mood. Now, I'm going to use cashmere, I think, am I? To highlight under my brow. Let's try that. Yeah. Cashmere. I've still got a bit of gold showing there. I will deal with that in a minute. And then what I do finally, I always like to go back in with my original transition shade when I finished off, because it just brings it all together and gets rid of anything that looks too harsh at the top. So that first shade I used, which was called Eden, I'll just blend it all away. Right, I said I was going to sort out that bit of gold. There's the bit of gold gone. Right, and then the next stuff I do is going to be with the liner. Now, I haven't put anything underneath. I'm just going to take a little bit of the amethyst. Which is a matte purple. And take that underneath. And I'll take a little bit of the twilight and pop it in there. Right, I need a liner now. And I need to do my brows now. Right. So for those of you that are joining, this is the palette I'm using. It's probably past its best. It's dried out a bit, but it is the Desert Dusk palette by Huda. Are you picking up video tips? Right, I need some liner. Let me just get my liner, and I shall put on some of Nina's recommended 17. This is the Extreme Extension Lengthening Mascara. Hold on a second. I want black really with this look. I'm trying to do this without getting up. Do you know what? It's close enough to black. My knee can't take it anymore. I would probably go for black normally, but I've just gone for ash because now I'm going to put in my under my waterline just to really brighten up under my eyes. I'm going to go for the waterline. This is the Victoria Beckham one. Have you seen that Victoria Beckham has brought out some colour chameleon type eyeshadow pencils? She's got a couple of shades that are very different to what anyone else has brought out. She's got one in yellow. Not quite sure about that. And another one in, I think, is there an orange one? Now, let me just sharpen this. It's all going to come together once I line my lids. This definitely needs mascara and liner. You can't skip mascara and liner with this look. You've done a review, Posh, haven't you? I have. I haven't got any of the new of her new eyeshadow pencils yet, though. It looks to me like the formula is quite similar to what she's brought out in the dual liners. She's just put them in a thicker pencil. I do love these kajals of Victoria Beckham because they are so easy to get. Like if you've got hooded lids, the only thing is because they're so soft, they can transfer. So you have to kind of set them. But it's so easy to get that line. But the best thing to do to stop it migrating, I don't know if there's one in here, is to get not necessarily a black, but a dark. There isn't, well, there's a brown, that will do. Is to get a dark matte shade in your palette and go over it like that. That'll work. Because then it will set it and then it won't migrate. Right, let's do the other side. So I'm using, by the way, this is the Ash Kajal. So if you don't like the harshness of a black pencil, this is pretty close to black, but it's not quite as dark. Now, when I get to the middle bit here, what I'm doing is I'm doing the tucking it into the duvet. You remember I talk about tucking it into tucking the sheet into the bed. So I'm basically tucking it right under there rather than thinking I'm putting a line on the mobile lid. Ash is very flattering. As it say, it's less harsh than black, but it's just, yeah, well, it's just less harsh than black. There's no more to be said than that. But it still looks like it still frames the look like a black pencil, but it's just less harsh. And I'm just going over it with, I'd have probably gone over it with a grey, but I haven't got a grey in the palette. Right, and then I'm going to put this mascara on. Jury's out a little bit on this. I still prefer my Pillow Talk, Nina, but I think my lashes, maybe, let's see. My lashes are straight, you see. I think it's probably very good for lengthening, but I need something to curl them up. And I should have done my lash curl. Let me do my lash curl. Because you all reminded me last week that I need to start curling my lashes. And I must dig out my my better ones. These are the Charlotte Tilbury ones, which are okay. But I've got some better ones than this. And I've forgotten who they're by. Yeah, I used to use them a lot because I went through a phase of, I mean, mine are so straight, but I went through a phase of them actually curling into my eyes. So if I didn't do them, they would literally be scratching my eyes. Right, let's have a go now. I definitely am tempted to go and get some extensions done. If I do, I'll ask them if I can film it. I'm very tempted. What I love, by the way, Nina, this mascara, you know it's £4. If you've got an Advantage card with Boots, it's £3, or it was a couple of weeks ago when I bought this. You get another £1 off it. I mean, not that £4 expensive, but every little helps. And really, you do not want to be keeping your mascaras for a long time. So you are better getting a cheap one. Oh, look, I've noticed that. I've got to get my doodah what's it to it. You see how I look like this? You just got to frame it. I'm going to come back and look at your comments in a minute. Now, the other thing is, of course, I could have done blue. Like a navy blue eyeliner with this. I love doing that sort of thing. Right, I'm going to just, oh, now I'm going to use my new Dip Brow. I had one of these before and I love it. So it's like it's a kind of mascara type brow one, but I've gone a shade lighter than I used to. Because of my grey showing through, I wanted to start lightening my brow products a bit. So I've actually gone to medium brown, which might be a bit too light. But I just wanted to start using a slightly lighter shade. Because as you get older, your complexion goes a bit fairer and your hair goes a bit fairer. And if you carry on, even though my hair colour is virtually black, it's black-brown, if you carry on sort of using the same shades as your complexion lightens, it starts to look a bit like you're just a pair of brows walking around. So I wanted to get one in a slightly lighter shade to try. And this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade. Not the pomade, sorry. Dip Brow Gel. The pomade is the one that's in the little jar. But this is so handy to have in your bag. And then I just take those and flatten them a little bit. Look what I've done. Don't do that. That's the Dip Brow Pomade. Nice brown mark now. That's fine. That's where my MAC, let me just wipe that off. That's where my MAC, I go back to my MAC. Silly me. And then I can do my little tidy up technique. In fact, I haven't really gone that far over the edge this time. So that is the eye look. What I'm going to do is, because I've got a bit left over, I'm just going to take some of that and put it there. I'm going to put Angel Alexandra on again today, because I liked that the other day. Thank you. Now, I've just got the lip cheat in... The lip cheat in Pink Venus. Did you see Charlotte Tilbury commented on my picture yesterday and said, Ali, have you tried our new matte Pillow Talk beauty blush ones? We think that peach would look great on you. Actually, I have them all. I'll put it on, actually. I'll put the peach one on. They've said that because I had First Love blush on. I like it, but not with this look. I liked it with the blue. Perfect with blue eye makeup. But I don't like it with this look. Exactly. Didn't you watch? You know what? I think they've got this new thing where you can tag products. They've probably just got something automatically set up that they recommend things based on what you're actually showing. But I did reply and say, yeah, I've actually got all 4 of them. I don't fool myself that anybody at Charlotte Tilbury is actually doing anything than sending some automated recommendation. Maybe they are. Maybe I'm putting myself down, but after however many years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of doing Charlotte Tilbury and 400 videos, I don't kid myself that they noticed me very much. They did in the early days when it was Charlotte. When it was Charlotte and when I went to that foundation thing, they did notice me. And that was lovely, but I've tailed off a bit recently. I'm going to do Viva La Vergara. You're getting Peach Pop Matte. I'm going to do Viva La Vergara. It's going to be one of those days that I'm not sure about my lipstick. What do you think about that one? It might need a gloss. Shall I go for a more purpley one? What do you think? Or shall I leave that and put some gloss over it? I'm going to put the peach. What have I done with my matte beauty ones? You love it. Something like Runway Royalty would go well. Or a pinkish one. Yeah. It needs a bit more pink in it, I think. Ooh. Hang about. What about this one? Let me have a look at this one. I'm just looking at what I've got down here in my box. Yes. I think that one. I'm just going to surprise you. Let's try this one. Maybe 3rd time lucky. Yes. Would I say it's a peachy pink? Yes. You talking about the matte blush? This is First Dance, by the way. Oh yes, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do the peachy one. because I don't like doing pink everywhere. I always, the Charlotte Tilbury tip is to, so that, by the way, was First Dance. I'm going to put some gloss over that in a minute. But I try and, with this look, I'm trying to do the Charlotte tip, which is always put your blush on last. That way you can't overdo your blush. So let's go with Charlotte's recommendation, shall we? Pillow Talk Peach Pop. I could do pink, but I don't like to do all pink. Yeah, you see how it doesn't look peach when you've got other things on, but if I put pink on, it would have been too much. And I'm going to put a bit of gloss on because I want to try out this freebie that I got from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So that's Peach Pop, as recommended to me by Charlotte Tilbury. I should have said, no, would you like to send me one? I missed a trick. No, I haven't. Would you like to send it to me? Right, gloss. Right, this is what I got free. It's just a clear gloss. So I'm just going to put some on the back of my hand because I can't bear it when you have a clear gloss and you end up with 15 lipsticks mixed up together inside the gloss. I did try this yesterday. It's quite a nice formula. It's not too gloopy. It's not hair stick to your lips kind of thing. In fact, my sister could do with this because she doesn't like matte lipsticks on her, but some of the matte lipstick colours she likes. So she could do with one of these. Now, I don't think I've got my bronzer, but what I'm going to do off camera... Oh, I've got my... I have got the AU one. I've got the AU one. Remember the Charlotte Tilbury dupe of the contour ones? I'm going to put a bit of contour on. Just to sculpt my face a little bit before I finish off. I do like this contour shade actually because it's a cool brown. It's actually quite a bit cooler than the Charlotte Tilbury one, rather than a warm brown. And if you look at shadows are grey. They're not warm brown, they're grey. And so actually it's good. Now, I always do this with me because of my face shape. As I say, I've got a wide forehead, so I don't put it up there. I bring it in. Now, if I do that, can you see how it does that? I've got that. I'm not going to draw it all the way in because I can bring it down with the brush. Then I shall take my... This needs a wash, but I can just about get away with it, I think. My Hollywood contour brush. I just wanted to add a bit more structure to my face. And this is where, when you're doing this, you need to make sure that you get this up there, because the shadow naturally goes all the way up to where the brow starts. But don't draw it in because then you'll have too much. But make sure that when you're blending it in, that you blend it up to that point, because then it's going to look like shadow rather than... And then what I do is I pinch my nose, because you want to pull the contour in. You don't want it to go down there. You want to pull it up to kind of peak at your nose. Like that. There, now I'm going to finish off with a little spray, and I'm going to come and see if there's any comments that I needed to answer. Oh, I love the smell of this. This one is the original one, but I like the barley one too. Thank you. I need to zhuzh up my hair a little bit. Right. Thank you, Nina. The foundation is nice and warmy. Are you going to get it, Nina? The brush set is out of stock. Terry, email me. They'll get them back in. They'll get them back in if they know that there's interest, definitely. That's a good brow shade on you. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to try something a bit more. I think maybe, though, the only thing I will say is that I would probably go for something lighter but grayer next time. It's a bit warm, because if you look, I mean, I know this is warm, but that's hair dye. If you look at my natural shade, it's not, it's okay. I can get away with it because I've got these warm kind of hair dye in. But where my natural colour is, it's actually quite a cool toned blacky grey. So I might actually try a sort of lighter one, but an ashy one, if you know what I mean. I tell you, the one that I always like is the It Cosmetics do one. They will be back to full price. That's the only thing. Yeah, that's true. But I'm sure they'll have an offer on them again. I got mine in a set with an offer. Are you going to come and say hello to the Ali Pallies or not? He's going to come and you'll get a shot when you see him.
Hi.
Hi. Remember him, little hello everyone. He's nearly 6 foot now.
No, I'm not.
You are. Come here again. Stand behind me. I'm not going to stand up. He is nearly 6 foot. He is.
No.
And a 10.5 shoe.
I'm like 5'10" at the most.
Yes, but you haven't stopped growing yet. You're definitely going to be the predicted height of 6'1.5". How I produced such a tall son. I'm so proud that all 4'8" of me managed to cook that for 9 months and still stand up at the end of it. He was 4 kilograms when he was born, and he was half my height by the time he was 6 months old. I know, time flies. You know, your parents tell you, enjoy it, it goes so quickly, and you think, oh, everyone says that, it's such a cliche, but oh God, is it true? I just feel like I was pregnant yesterday. And he's 14. He's gonna be, is he? God, I've got to remember now, no, he's gonna be 15 this year. He's gonna be 15. God. Right, I'm going to finish my tea. I don't mind cold tea. Right, well, I will be back soon. And I am liking the 17 lipstick. When the black came back in stock, I ordered 4. Oh, what are the mascaras? Do you know what, Nina? I saw this thing. Something's got into my eye now. I saw this thing that is available in America. But it's one of those things that you can only get here on that really expensive website that stocks things that are not stocked anywhere else, but they charge you a fortune for it. You'll know the website I mean. It's called Fifth Avenue or something. And it's a mascara. It's a refillable mascara. I'm going to find you the thing. But it's in the States. If you live in the States, you're so lucky, because it's a refillable mascara, which I think is a great idea anyway. And they should be doing that more here. But as well as it being refillable, on one end is the curler. So you don't have to go looking for your curler. The curler's at one end, and then your refillable mascara's on the other. And I'm going to find you what it is, but I'm so tempted to get someone from the States to send one over to me. And pay them, obviously. Because I just think that is such a great idea. Because when you're putting your mascara on, you've got your curler at the other end. I'll find it and I'll put the link below. And the refillable, how great is that? A refillable mascara. What it is that you just pop off the end and then you put on another mascara. So you know you're having to change your mascara a lot because you're not supposed to use it for too long. It's great. You just keep the packaging, you keep the curler, and you put your mascara on the end. Such a great idea. I love it. Cannot get it in the UK, except by paying something ridiculous like 70 quid for it, when it's nothing near that in the States. I'll find it and I'll put the link below. I'm going to go. I've got to go and visit my dad. And I hope to see you all very soon. I will see you very soon because I've got 2 videos at least to film, as well as the Flawless Filter dupe. And I've got more stuff on the way. So keep watching and I'll see you all soon. Take care and don't forget to like my live. if you have any friends that want to come over and subscribe to me, do let them know about my channel. And do also make sure that you go over and subscribe to Stacey's channel, Stacey Frost. She's here. She's in the chat. Have a look. Go to Stacey Frost. Stacey, if you want to put a comment underneath afterwards so that people can find the right Stacey Frost and go and subscribe to her channel, she would be really grateful. And we like to give everybody, all the Ali Pallies starting up channels, we like to give them our support. Love you all. Take care. Mwah.